The moment that I felt you were the one, probably was between the third date and you meeting my family and best friend.
The thing really made us click is we both come from a culture that's very that's very family oriented. To me, that's important. Hi everyone, my name is Ariel.
And I'm Adam.
Welcome to our very first episode of Broccoli Universe.
You're watching Nightcap with the Broccolis.
So this episode, we're going to talk about how we met through a blind date and where we've been and where we are now. So, do you want to start?
Certainly. So, both Ariel and I were in really long-term relationships. Ariel was in a marriage and I was in a 6-year relationship myself. And a mutual friend of ours, an old coworker of mine, as well as a friend of Ariel's, noticed that we both were single and we were ready to mingle, and she felt that we would be a perfect match. I was just getting over the relationship, and Ariel was a little bit further into. Ariel actually was the first person that messaged me. I'm not the one that took the first step.
I have to be the first one.
And I messaged Ariel after she had reached out to me, and I asked if she wanted to grab coffee at Emporio Ruli, and she said yes, and I was happy about that. And I did no investigative work beforehand. I wanted to go in blindly, like a blind date.
Mm-hmm.
So I messaged her, we went for coffee, and then I asked her to grab some dinner with me because the date went really well. And then from there, the rest is history. You want to tell your side?
Sure. So I was basically in a 6-year marriage, and at that time I was divorced for about a year, and during that year I had a lot of ups and downs, and I did go on few dates here and there. Never really went through, didn't find anything or anyone that worked out. So as I was trying to just go on with my life, and I ran into my really good friend, she was like, hey, I think this guy just, become single. I saw on his Facebook. So I was like, well, I'm not really looking to date right now. She's like, just try it. And, then her just text message and go on a date. I was like, okay, I'll just do this for you. And here we go. And 2 months later, I think, I texted you. And I didn't hear anything from him. Apparently that he knew I exist. And I texted you and I said, hey, my name is Ariel. Do you want to grab coffee? So, or did you ask me to grab coffee?
I asked if you wanted to grab coffee,
oh, okay.
But you didn't reach out to me.
Right. So I did introduce myself actually. And then you asked me to go out for coffee. And then we found out our offices were only 10 minutes away from each, walking distance. Then we're like, okay, let's meet at Union Square. And, moving forward, we had such a great time. Actually, I do want to talk about the first impression.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, but go for it.
So I sorry, what's the name of the coffee shop again? I never remember the name.
Emporio Ruli.
Emporio Runi. I think it's closed actually, but it's always going to be in our hearts. So I was sitting in the corner on the left-hand side of the coffee shop. Then later on, maybe I was there for 5 minutes, and I saw this guy come in wearing a pink button-down shirt, jeans with a peacoat. That was in February, and I was like, oh, he looks cute. And he came over and introduced himself. So I think you bought me coffee or cappuccino, and you grabbed the
Americano.
And we sat down and just dived right into, what we want. And I think we were talking about, do you want kids? Do you want to get married?
Yep.
What's your goal? Like, we literally on our first blind date, we dived into those serious questions. I think that's also why we kind of clicked so much, because we both have gone through, long-term relationships, a lot of ups and downs and pain that kind of, carried along with us. And honestly, at that time, I think I was 34. I just turned 34. I'm like, I don't have time to waste. And I wanted to have a family one day. I wanted to be a mom one day. I wanted to make sure this guy is the right guy that I wanted to continue to see. So, yeah. So we dived into those questions.
Yeah.
Did you have any expectations going in?
Well, I did, even though it's a blind date, I did go on Facebook, just check you out for like a millisecond. And the funny thing is, you looked so much older in your profile picture than what you look in reality. So I think in terms of the external look, I feel like you're more appealing or attractive when I really saw you. And the expectation in terms of, I guess, family value and how do you manage finance and stuff? Definitely, I want to make sure you are the right person for me because of my past experience that was really, kind of hard when the couples are not on the same page. So I think that was my expectation. How about you?
Did I have any expectations going in? No, I wanted to go in. I did not do any reconnaissance work. I did not look you up on Facebook or Instagram. I wanted to go in fresh and blindly, so I didn't want to over simplify things. I didn't want to undersimplify things. So just meeting you and getting to know you, talking about our goals, our morals, what we want out of a relationship, what we want out of our life was really all I went in. And then I think it went really well, which is why I asked you out for dinner afterwards at NY China, which is also another restaurant that closed down. But one thing I found interesting was we were set up on a blind date and it went really well and it didn't stop. It's been a never-ending joy to spend with you daily and get to know you. And I still learn things about you, and I still get to know you day to day. But I feel that going in, I didn't want to, because I didn't want to be disappointed, but I didn't want to be overexcited at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, that makes total sense because, given how much we've gone through in our individual relationships in the past. So I think the thing really made us click is we both come from a culture that's very that's very family oriented. To me, that's important. You're very close to your parents, and you respect them, and that's a big yes in my book. Another thing is I kind of test your spice level, since I'm from the capital of hot pot, and we went to hot pot on our second date. And you handle spice really well, and you eat chicken feet. Like, those are like cultural aspects that I found, wow, you're very cultured in a way that you're very open-minded in terms of food. So that's another attraction to me. And it's just really nice to be with someone that I can be myself. I think that's another thing. Like, you see my good, bad, and ugly, and you always put up with me. So, like, that's one thing that I felt I don't want to be someone else with the closest person that I have, that I spend time every day. So it's been quite a ride, and yeah.
It's been worth it, I feel. And we have a beautiful daughter, and we're training her to be just like us, and she is showing those signs.
When was the moment that you knew she or he was the one?
The moment that I felt you were the one, probably it was between the third date and you meeting my family and my best friend. You brought me into your home and wanted me to cook for you. Allowing someone to bring a stranger-ish person into your home and say, will you cook me a meal? Says a lot about that person. That means you opened your home to me and you trusted me with your appliances, because that's big. I could burn down the house. I could burn the food and it smell.
You.
Yeah.
I was making sure you're not doing something stupid.
So the fact that you're like, I'm not going to cook for you, would you cook for me? That was a huge moment. And then introducing you to my best friend, my brother, and at 4th of July, it was huge because you both clicked from the get-go. And then I guess meeting my parents at the Grapevine in San Rafael before we went to Tahoe. You were heading back to China a little bit after, which is why you couldn't join us. But you've clicked with everybody in my life. You welcome them with open arms and open heart. And that to me that's the moment. I know it was a mix of 3 different things, but that's the moment that it all just clicked together.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think another moment that really kicked for me was when we went back to China together.
Yeah.
And so my parents, because of my previous marriage, they're very protective of me, and they wanted to respect my own decision, but also in the meantime, they want to make sure I'm, dating a right guy, has the right intention. So we went back to China in 2019, and basically my parents and my whole family just fell in love with him right away.
Aww.
That was for my mom's 60th birthday.
Yeah.
And he was like pouring teas and putting them on the tree at the reception and start walking around and giving people tea. That was so adorable.
Aww.
And I was like, oh wow, he's really, like trying to show that he's such a caring person. And another test that my parents did was the noodles. Yeah. So my mom makes this homemade Sichuan chili oil, which is really spicy. To me, even it's very spicy. So in the morning, and in my culture in Chongqing, normally we would have small noodles. It's called. My mom cooked a whole bowl of noodles and put like 3 spoons of scoops or spoons of spicy sauce, and I probably had 1 spoon or scoop of spicy sauce. And I was like, Mom, this is so hot. And I was like looking at Adam, and I was like, oh yeah, this is perfect. It's not spicy at all. So I guess at that moment, he has passed my mom's test. And my mom's like, okay, this is the son-in-law I want to be with.
Thank you.
Yeah, so definitely for my dad, it's just how Adam presented him throughout the trip, and trying, really nice conversations with my dad, and just, be himself. I think really that made us click.
How are your cultures impacting your relationship?
Our cultures strive around family, being there for each other, getting together, eating, just being good with money and being good with responsibilities. I think that's one thing that both of our cultures share. From the get-go, we always said we're going to have separate bank accounts, but we always had a singular bank account to pay for expenses that we shared together. And we tried to be as equal as possible. Even if one of us isn't making as much as the other, we try to complement the other person in terms of what we can afford and what we can. And we've never gone gotten on each other's cases, or we've never looked down upon the other if one of us can't afford something, and we've always treated each other out of our personal accounts, as well as sharing the joint expenses of going out. But the idea of family and being good with money and being good with just who we surround ourselves with, and we don't surround ourselves with negativity. We remove ourselves from that. And I feel that both our cultures have tied us into that.
Yeah, I just want to add on that another thing that's really important to me is the investment into education.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you are a person that you just continue to learn and continue to challenge yourself, even through all of the career ups and downs, and you just want it to be better. And another thing is now we have a daughter. We both are on the same page where we want to, put the best foot forward for our daughter's education. And I think that's a really important thing in terms of building our value, and also building generational wealth, and give the best to our daughter.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
How long did you date before getting engaged?
Ariel first messaged me in February, and we didn't start really dating until April. A couple months for us to see each other, hang out, but we didn't start dating until about April. And then I had a little thing in mind. I was going to ask her to be my girlfriend on the 4th of July, because I love setting these things up. I'm very event planned. So.
You're a romantic planner.
Yes. So I was going to ask her to be my girlfriend in July, on July 4th at the fair, Marin County Fair. And Ariel kind of gave me an ultimatum. She's like, we've been talking for a while. When are you going to ask? And we were walking along the path in Petaluma. And I was like, I wanted to wait, but I know this is right. So I asked her to be my girlfriend. We officially made it official on May 28th, 2018. During the pandemic, I actually set up, because it was going to be our anniversary, but I set up a proposal and I got everything set up. So we went to Sonoma, the town of Sonoma, and I set up a picnic. It was supposed to be an anniversary picnic, but I got down on one knee on May 28th, 2020, and asked Ariel to be my wife. And then we got engaged, and we saw my folks. And then we were planning on getting married around November but the pandemic happened. So we actually had the wedding at my parents' backyard. It was amazing. We had a combination Zoom with a couple people in attendance at their house. And we had an amazing wedding actually on May 28th, 2021. So I kind of set this up for us to kind of make it easily sound. And the irony is, when we got pregnant, there was a possibility that May 28th was going to be our daughter's birthday. So May 28th holds very special to my heart. But
I think you did this so you can remember one date, so you don't have to forget.
Well, the others were that part, but the pregnancy wasn't. It just so happened to fit around it.
Yeah, it's interesting how the universe works, right? I want to also add on, so the square of Sonoma, where he proposed to me, actually was also where my dad found two rocks.
Yeah.
One says hope, one says dream. So I took my parents to this Sonoma Square right after my divorce. And they probably trying to, I don't know, the universe is just planning this to happen several years later. And that's giving, my family, myself, hope and dream to meet someone who, will just appear in my life, like that. So it's just amazing how the universe is giving us all the, putting the pieces together for us and doing its thing.
Yeah.
Any advice for those who are looking for love?
If you're going on a date or you're trying to look for love, go. Don't be afraid. It'll happen. It's like you either meet a new friend or you meet your next soulmate. How about you? Do you have any advice?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like the term blind date can be scary, especially for girls or for women, because you never know who that person you're meeting with. So my advice is definitely go and just be careful. Don't do something like meeting at night. Go somewhere public where you can get out easily. So definitely go, because if you don't go, you never know what you're going to get. And that's my first advice.
Treat the date like it's kind of like an interview, your first interview for a job. I feel that when you go on an interview, you're kind of setting yourself up for your future with that company. Just like if you're going on a date, blind date or not, you're setting yourself up for possible future with that person. So I feel that treat it like an interview. Do you have any other advice?
Yeah, I was thinking for women, for girls, at least all the times the guys are generous enough to buy us a coffee, or you can get a free coffee or English muffin or whatever you wanted to have. So I feel like you may be able to have a fun conversation and get a coffee or free coffee out of it, or you're gonna have a not very fun conversation, you get a free croissant out of it, and then you just move on to your day.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Life's too short to not take action. I feel that you need to step up, whether it's you or the other person. They need to step up and say, hey, let's hang out, let's go on a date. What's the worst that could happen at the end of the day? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. We only have certain years to live on the Earth's planet, and why not just do it? And just like it, just do it.
Yeah.
So that's our advice, and we hope through our journey, our experience and story, we can encourage you to take the action and find your love, and don't be afraid of going on a blind date.
Yeah. I love it. Well,
and cheers our success of our blind date, and a blind date led to our marriage.
Yeah. And many more years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Want to thank you for joining us on this first episode and the start of the journey for us. And we hope you stay tuned for more. We have a lot to talk about going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And may broccoli be with you. Cheers.
Cheers.